All right, Larry Krueger here at Levi's Stadium on a Thursday with our 49er update brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. This video also brought to you by Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles. They're at 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California, along the Monterey Peninsula. Call my good friend Anthony Catania. He's at 831-521-5264. All right, let's talk about everything that happened down here in Santa Clara on a Thursday. One interesting thing on the injury front is that Jennings has got a hip injury. He did not practice for the second day in a row. So it sounds like Jennings is trending towards not playing. If JJ can't go, what does that mean? That probably means that Ricky Pearsall, who's looked very good in practice and would like to play on Sunday, might get that opportunity. We might see Pearsall up and Jennings down this weekend. Now, Deebo Samuel and JP Mason both practiced today, but in blue jerseys, the non-contact jersey. They're both a little dinged up so far. So we'll see about their status going into the game on Sunday. Mooney Ward was a full participant at practice, which was a good sign. Mooney's trying to get back to play against his former team. And Kevin Givens is battling a groin injury. Givens has played great so far, 3.5 sacks, leads the 49ers, but he's battling a groin injury, and his status for this game at this point is still undetermined. Alan Eck and his crew will be the officials officiating Niners Chiefs. I can't tell you anything more about Alan Eck. I don't have any real scouting information on Mr. Eck, but him and his crew will be officiating the Niners and the Chiefs. The Niners have to get it done one of these times against Kansas City. They've lost 4 in a row to Kansas City, 2 in the regular season, 2 in the Super Bowl. They've lost 6 of the last 7. I was looking at the NFL Network's they made 10 different people on the NFL Network made predictions on Niners Chiefs. 5 went with the Chiefs, 5 went with the Niners. So it's pretty even. Couple other things. Demo Lenore. This was a stat I read today about Demo Lenore that sounds pretty incredible. He allowed 2 touchdowns on 162 coverage snaps as a rookie. He's only given up 3 touchdowns on over 1,700 coverage snaps since his rookie year. He has taken off since that first year and really elevated his game. I really think he's going to be the guy that the 49ers ultimately decide to go with between him and Mooney at the end of the year. I think it's going to be Lenore that they opt to re-sign. One of the things I want to see in this game is I want to see the Niners continue to commit to the youth. Last week against Seattle, the Niners rookies came to play. Renardo Green had a huge interception. It was probably the biggest pick of the day, biggest play of the day, I thought. He also had 6 tackles, 4 solo. Malik Mustafa, who I talked to in the locker room today, he had a huge interception in the first quarter. He also had a big hit. He hurt his ankle. But he had a TFL, he had a pass breakup. I mean, Mustafa was huge. Tatum Bethune was huge. He had a fumble recovery. Isaac Guerrero was huge. He had a 76-yard run in the fourth quarter. Dominic Pooney blocked for that 76-yard run, and Pooney's been a revelation at right guard. We saw Jacob Cowing field a couple punts, and Evan Anderson, the big defensive tackle, the rookie from Florida Atlantic, 13 snaps. He played 2. He had 2 pressures, 2 tackles. This is, by the way, a 325-pound defensive tackle who can dunk. So he told me he can jam. Evan Anderson is somebody to watch. But 7 rookies made significant contributions against Seattle. And I would just lean into it in this game. I'd bench Devondre Campbell and go with younger linebackers. Let me see a little D. Winters. Let me see a little Jalen Graham. I asked Nick Sorensen today, why Campbell over the other guys? And he obviously has got Winters over Graham, but I think Winters and Graham can both be upgrades on Campbell, and I want to see it possibly as soon as Sunday. One guy who I talked to in the locker room today was George Kittle, and I asked him, what's the key to victory? I mean, you guys have lost 4 straight to Kansas City. I almost feel like the Niners have too much respect for Kansas City. I mean, they're so glowing in their reviews of Kelsey and Reed and Mahomes and Chris Jones and Nick Bolton and, Spags and Dave Taub. And I mean, it's like, my God, I mean, it's just the Mutual Admiration Society. It's kind of sickening, actually. But I asked Kittle, I said, what's it going to take? You know, I mean, I'm tired of watching you guys lose these games. What's it going to take to win a game against Kansas City? And he said, run the ball. I want to see us run the ball 30 times and don't turn it over. And I looked it up. In the last 3 games against the Chiefs, the Niners have turned it over 7 times. If you want to beat Kansas City, don't turn it over 7 freaking times in 3 games. You can't turn it over. That's bottom line. You want to win this game, don't turn it over. Run the ball and don't turn it over. And by the way, sit Campbell. You know, and I'm back to that point for a second. People say, well, Krug, why do you want to sit Campbell? Because I asked Sorensen about it. He's like, well, we're playing both. We're playing Campbell, we're playing Winters. The bottom line is Campbell is playing poorly. And they need to sit him down. He's giving up a 115.6 passer rating when he's been targeted this year. That's 18th worst in the NFL. He's got 8 missed tackles. He's got a 19% missed tackle rate. That's 4th worst in the NFL among all linebackers. He's got the 3rd worst tackle grade of any linebacker according to PFF. And he's allowing a reception percentage of 89.3%. That's 10th worst in the league. So, enough. I've seen enough of Campbell. Give me some Winters. Give me some Graham. Give me somebody else besides Devondre Campbell. One thing in this game, get ready for a lot of man-to-man coverage Sunday. Spags went a lot of man-to-man against Purdy because he feels like Purdy can carve up his zone defense. In the Super Bowl, you know, Kansas City and Spagnuolo went to man-to-man coverage on 60.6% of the defensive snaps that Kansas City played. That sounds high. It is high. It's the highest man-to-man cover rate of any Chiefs game since Spags has been in Kansas City. So to say that he's calling a lot of man coverage against the Niners probably doesn't really speak to it. And what was the result? Well, they locked up the Niners. Now, they don't have Snead. He's in Tennessee. But they still have McDuffie. And Debo last year had only 1 reception on 6 targets against Trent McDuffie in Super Bowl 58. It's a big reason the Niners lost that game. Another thing to watch in this game. The 49er defense and the Chiefs defense are almost like diametric opposites of one another. The Niners defense has been starting fast and struggling in the second half. The Chiefs defense has been starting slow in the first quarter, but improving as the game has gone on. It's reflected in the points per quarter stats. The Niners allowed 2.8 points in the first quarter. That's 4th best in the league. Second quarter, the Niners allow 5.2 points in the second quarter. That's 9th best in the league. Third quarter, though, the 49ers are allowing 7.2 points on average. That's 31st in the NFL. And in the fourth quarter, the Niners are also allowing 7.2 points, and that's 21st in the NFL. So look at Kansas City by comparison. Kansas City in the first quarter is giving up 5.4 points. That's 21st in the NFL. But then they give up 6 points in the second quarter, which is 13th in the NFL. In the second half, they close it down. Kansas City gives up 1.2 points per third quarter, which is second best in the NFL. So that's the real quarter to watch, because Kansas City is second best in the NFL, and the Niners are 31st in the NFL. And then in the fourth quarter, Kansas City's giving up 4.4 points, which is 11th. So that's one area to look at in this game, especially in that third quarter. How do the 49ers match up with the Chiefs in that third quarter? That's going to be an interesting thing to watch for sure. All right, that does it for the video. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of The Krug Show. Thanks to Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles for sponsoring this video. Thanks to all of you guys for supporting The Krug Show. We're closing in on 50,000 subs. Join us tonight, by the way, at 6 o'clock on Niners Nightly on KMBR. And Cam Inman's going to stop by from the San Jose Mercury News. Should be a great hour talking Niners. And that does it for us from Santa Clara. Have a great day, everybody. Go Niners.